How's Jim Bro Hands? It's your boy Hellboy here, and today I have a very interesting topic to talk to you about. Today we will be talking about the importance and the value of floats and why it's so important. So first of all, what exactly is a float value? Well, essentially, to put it blatantly, a float value is essentially how much the gun, like the skin on a gun, is covering the weapon, and it varies from 0 to 1 in the decimal numbers, or from 0 to 100%, and that's how you can determine how much of the skin is covering the weapon and what's the pattern like. And it can be very important, and it could mean a lot of money. So I'm essentially helping you profit from these floats. Because some skins are like, I don't know, they're pretty shitty with like bad floats, but they're very expensive with insane floats. For example, like a very high float, actually no, low float, Crimson Web, for example, would be worth quite a lot, for example. But yeah, we'll be going over the float in more specifically. So the first question probably is, where can I actually find out what the float of my weapon is? Well, the most commonly used sites would probably be CSGO Lounge or CSGO Exchange. Is the site where you can see the perfect float for stuff and such as that, or you can just install a Google Chrome add-on called Steam Inventory Helper, or maybe even go on CSGOSteamAnalyst.com, which can determine the float of your items in your inventory. It's not a fishy site or anything. I have used these and I know what I'm doing, so just bear with me on this. And yeah, these are the ways how you can find out your float. And here's an example of a float, like the difference between these floats. So let's say you have your AVP Boom and it has a 0.16 float value. So it means that it's really close to minimal wear, but it is actually field tested. And the value can actually rise for some items, like they said before, Crimson Webs and such. But your Op Boom can have like a 0.35 float value, which means it's very close to well worn, which is really bad, and it can really affect the price of the item and how well it's going to sell. But if you were like somewhere in the middle, like 0.22 float or something like that, that would be average, like your basic billet, the basic billet version of the Op Boom, essentially. Also, last but not least, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of obvious and pretty predictable, but low tier skins are affected by the float value. Essentially every item in the game is pretty much, if it has a condition. But the thing is that they're not really worth a lot. So even if you have an R8 Crimson Web field tested and it looks factory new, it's still an R8 Crimson Web when you think about it, so it's not exactly gonna bring you much profit. So unless you're like a really rich knife trader, the float value isn't really gonna help you much. But anything above like 10 euros is essentially pretty float dependent. So be on the lookout for floats and float values. And I really hope I helped you out with this video, that you learned something new about floats and float values, and of course the value of your skins with said floats. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, something like that, and see you in the next one. Peace.